You're not a sailor by your own personal history. How did you get interested in Larry Ellison and his pursuit of the America's Cup?
Well, I heard about this unlikely partnership between Larry Ellison, the co-founder of Oracle, this billionaire, and this partnership with the Commodore of the Golden Gate Yacht Club in San Francisco, a blue-collar yacht club on San Francisco's waterfront, whose Commodore is a radiator repair shop owner. And I thought of this incongruous pairing. I thought that was a really interesting story. And then I got into it, and they had forged this friendship and this partnership that endures today, that started in 2001, saw them through the first America's Cup 2003, went through 2007, finally a victory in 2010, and the Commodore is back. We'll see it through the America's Cup in the fall, and so they have this great kind of singular quest, these two very different men for the America's Cup, so that's how I got into it.
How did they meet?
They met when Larry Ellison had a falling out with the better-known St. Francis Yacht Club, which is the more elite club people know along the waterfront. And Larry Ellison wanted control, and the St. Francis wanted control, and they both couldn't have control. And Norbert was named Commodore of this, what was then kind of a sinking ship, $453,000 in debt, and he heard about the falling out, and he thought, well, what about our little club? Couldn't it be the little engine that could, if we can forge this deal that happened? So it's this very cool story that doesn't come along very often.
Tell us about meeting Larry Ellison, and what was it like to speak with him at length about the America's Cup?
Well, we sat for interviews, mostly at his Woodside estate, and the interviews would last 3, 4, 5 hours. Great interviews, wide-ranging interviews. That were about everything from his friendship with Steve Jobs to why he founded Oracle. There are a lot of misconceptions about what he was trying to do with Oracle, about his pursuit of the America's Cup.
Why did he want to win the America's Cup? Why was that so important?
Well, he was a very accomplished sailor. You know, he was not this billionaire owner who parachuted down onto the boat at the last minute. He's actually out there driving the boat. And so it was the next great challenge. It was like rising to the next weight class that he wanted to be a part of. So he had been sailing Sayonara, you know, his maxi yacht, and he wanted to take it to the next level of sailing. And that was the America's Cup. It's the holy grail of sailing. It's the oldest trophy in international sports.
Explain the new types of boats that are now sailing in the America's Cup, competing, because these are not the, you know, under canvas, under sail, wooden hull, even, you know, what you would normally think of as a sailing yacht. These are aerodynamic marvels. They are
aerodynamic wonders. I mean, it's really incredible. They're AC-72s, and I was out on an AC-45, you know, out flying.
And that stands for the length of the boat.
Yeah, but these were the precursor to these enormous boats that are so cutting edge, the fastest boats that have ever been raced in the America's Cup, and they're on hydrofoils. The hulls aren't even touching the water. It's going to be super exciting racing. Of course, there's danger involved. We've had we've had a particular tragedy in San Francisco.
One of the sailors actually died because the boat collapsed.
That's right, that's right. The boat, and it looks like it was more of a boat issue than an issue of these boats in general. There are a lot of safety measures that they've put in place to make this a really exciting America's Cup. You know, it's going to be accessible to the masses, but also we hope to make it safe enough. But it's going to be a lot of fun this summer.
Right, and you wanted me to ask you, you said that the boats that are racing now, these are these technological marvels.
Right.
But you said that there was a previous vessel that was even more amazing.
Oh, it was unbelievable. So this was the trimaran called USA-17 that Larry and his team of engineers and geniuses in the sailing world built to win the 2010 America's Cup. Its wing sail was the largest wing ever built for air or for sea, 230 feet tall, too tall when standing up to fit under the Golden Gate Bridge, if you can imagine. Unbelievable.
This is a moving 20-story building.
23-story
23-story building.
And Larry Ellison called it his black pterodactyl. And it is an imposing boat. I mean, I've seen it. It's really something else. And it was a $40 million boat raced in 2 races.
2 races,
2 races.
$40 million,
yeah,
$20 million a race.
Right. But it won him the America's Cup. It took him 10 years to win the America's Cup, and my book really goes into the ups and downs and the mistakes that were made and the lessons learned, so it's a very cool story.
And you've become a sailor as a result of all the research and the work you've done on the boat.
Well, I have. I became really captivated by the story of the America's Cup, you know, which is a fascinating story about American history.
It's the oldest trophy, right, in sports.
The oldest trophy in international sports.
And you travel with it, apparently,
well,
right? It's got its own case and everything.
It's got its own Louis Vuitton case. It's got its own mileage plus number. It's referred to as a she. It's really, it's hard.
What is it, almost 5 feet tall?
It is. It's about 33 pounds. It's not that tall, but it grows. It does grow. The cup does, because there's a new base to it. But I became, you know, I was able to go out with Jimmy Spithill, who's the skipper of Oracle Racing, on one of the AC-45s, and that totally hooked me on this sport. It was so high adrenaline, so much fun, and he told me to take the tiller, and he said, you crash it, Guthrie, you own it. And this is a $9 million boat, so fortunately, all went well.
Last point, who do you think is going to win the America's Cup? Go ahead.
It's between, I don't know, the New Zealanders, the Kiwis are pretty formidable. Oracle Racing, I would say. If I had to pick one, yeah.
Good.
That's it, Oracle Racing.